Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that little jaunt. Oh, I can't see what's going on down this way. Why did I stall my bike? Hey folks, I don't think I have much battery life on my microphone here, so I think this is just going to be a short kind of vlog and maybe more or less just a video montage of the scenery because I think I'm about to run out of microphone. But anyway, I'm on my way home from somewhere else and I thought I would just shoot a little vlog because it's actually really pretty here today. The clouds are really pretty. I know it's not going to show up on my camera very well. I'm going to go this kind of back way again. So you guys are going to see a little bit of a country road, as it were. Have a subject, although I think last time someone asked me to sort of open up about what difficulties I've been having since I moved, and so I'll do that. I don't mind doing that at all. I'm an open book, really. The difficulties I've been having, well, first of all, the move itself was really, really taxing. It happened rather suddenly. I think I vlogged about moving on like my birthday around the middle of September, and then I was totally moved and in my new place by October 1, so it was really short amount of time for me to actually prepare all my stuff and get ready. I ended up having to get rid of, I would say, 90% of everything I own, like all my furniture, a bunch of clothes, just everything I had pretty much I had to get rid of. I brought my bike, and that was basically my bike and my animals and a little bit of clothes, but yeah, I'm just kind of rebuilding. The move itself was like, I was driving a 16-foot Penske truck and I was towing my car on a dolly with that truck, and I don't have any experience really driving a truck or anything like that, so it was kind of like, you know, kind of sucked. Let's see here. So anyways, we're driving this Penske truck. We didn't really have too many problems till I get to Missouri. And it's, of course, super windy. I feel like I always have a terrible time every time I drive through Missouri. First of all, I can't navigate Kansas City to save my life. I don't know, every time I've gone through it, I've gotten lost. And then, you know, my sister was in her car driving, and so we were kind of coordinating the travel, which was nice. But at some point, toward the end of our journey, as we like got really close to West Virginia, our GPS decided like it wanted to try to kill us, and it took us off the interstate, and it got us on these back roads. And I'm not sure why it did this, but I'm on these kind of smaller and smaller roads with this huge truck with his car towing it, and I tell my sister, like, please don't go on any smaller roads because I can't back this up. Like when you have a tow dolly on your truck like that, you can't back up with it. So the whole time I'm like trying to coordinate the gas stations. Like I need to be in a big enough gas station to where I can get turned around and all this other stuff. And then we get to Doddridge County in West Virginia, and she makes a little bit of a navigational error, which was totally understandable why she did it. But she kind of basically gets us off on this little tiny road, And I'm like, oh geez, you know, it's smaller than like this road right here. And I'm starting to get real nervous about it. And I said, please, oh God, nothing smaller than this. So we kind of stopped to pull off because the GPS is telling us to go up this one road. So I pull off in this pull off, and this road is like a gravel. I mean, this is a glorified four-wheeler path. I'm not joking. It was really, it was just like a gravel pathway, and it went up this steep hill, and it had been rainy, so a lot of it was washed out and it was muddy. And we go up this road. This guy actually had stopped, and I wish I knew the guy's name. I want to say the guy's name was Frank. If any of you know Frank from Doddridge County, who drives like a wrecking trailer that hauls like wrecked cars, this guy was an absolute godsend. He has like 17 cats. We talked to him a little bit. He said, yeah, if you go up this road, it'll be fine. It'll put you back out on the road you want to be on. And he followed us. And I was scared to death. I mean, it was the scariest thing I think I've ever done. Really. But we made it. We went up this four-wheeler path, basically. Little tight turns and hairpins, and I'm going through this, and I'm breaking branches all because it's in the woods, you know. And we went up there, and anyways, it was a really taxing move. We finally get to where we're going, and you know, both of our anxiety levels are just like through the roof. But the thing that's been stressing me out the rest of the time has been my new job. It's like one of the most difficult jobs I've ever done, and it's not because the job itself is difficult. I've had like a lot of different jobs, and I've had like really bad ones. Like I used to work at an animal shelter. It sucked. I'd just scrub dog shit all morning in the cold and 17-degree weather and all this. But this job I'm doing now it's clerical, sort of. It's an administrative assistant type job. But my boss is the hardest person to get along with that I've ever worked for. Oh, there's a dead baby deer over there. Oh. She's just, academia is a really toxic, weird environment where people get really, really warped worldviews and like very into their own perspective and their own ego. And I don't know, I don't really get that. I don't really understand being that way. And so, yeah, it's been a real challenge. I've learned a lot about, like, just kind of dealing with difficult personalities, because normally I think my strategy is to avoid. Like, when someone's difficult, I just sort of avoid them. And I don't have the option to do that here because I work very closely with my boss. And so I've had to relearn how to cope. And I'm not saying I'm doing a really good job of it. I don't. I get mad at her probably on a daily basis. And I'm one of those people, like, when I'm mad, I don't really have a filter, and I can't pretend I'm not mad. Like, you know when I'm mad. Like, you can see it on my face. You can tell it in my tone of voice, and I'm not, I can't be polite when I'm mad for some reason. And so I find a lot of my dealings with her they fall short of what I would want them to be, because I'm not treating her with, like, the level of respect that I would want to be treated with. But she tries my patience so much that I feel like sort of I'm always at, like, I'm always on a raw nerve, if that makes sense. Like, I always am at my last end of my rope with dealing with her, and I just don't have a lot of patience for it. She's a habitual micromanager, and the worst one I've ever encountered. And she's also paranoid and jealous of people's achievements, and she's insecure. And I say this, which makes this very difficult, is like, I kind of consider her a friend in some regards. She was my mentor in college, and she was like the female role model in my life that I looked up to. So it's hard to take that I see this other side of her now, and I have a hard time kind of accepting it, but it also makes me maybe a little bit more willing to be patient in the long run with her, because even though day to day I lose my patience, like overall I kind of just believe that she'll come around and do things in a way that makes a little bit more sense eventually, because I just kind of just believe in who she is as a person. I just think she's in a really bad way right now and is really unhealthy. She's just had a lot of bad things happen to her too. Like, she's had a lot of stuff that a lot of people wouldn't really come back from, I think, and hasn't really been dealing with it super well. There was a seam in the road there. You guys couldn't probably see that, but my bike was kind of a little squirrely. Anyways, that's basically what I've been having a hard time with. I really am resistant to being micromanaged. Like, resistance and understatement. I can't stand it. Like, I am pretty competent in a job. You know, I'm pretty able to figure out the job. I might have a learning curve, you know, and it might take me a while to pick up on things. I'm not the fastest learner, but like once I get a handle of it, you know, I'm pretty self-sufficient, and I really resent being micromanaged because I think it's insulting. It's just insulting to me on a personal level, and I realize that her micromanagement really isn't about me and my job that I'm doing. It's about her insecurity about managing. But you know, knowing that doesn't really help it feel any different. It just sucks. I mean, we're in a meeting like the other day, and she's like asking me what I have to do and who I have to email and how long is the email going to take me to do. 15 minutes, like, and she's like recording all of this in a document that she's typing, and I feel like she's not really listening to me, and she's not really present. She's just sort of like looking for ways to get me, and I'm just like, so toxic. Such a toxic way to manage. But anyway, that's what I've been coping with, and it makes it it makes it even more frustrating that that's what I'm putting up with. It'd be one thing if that's all I was putting up with and just getting a paycheck and whatever, but I'm putting up with that, and I'm trying to get my PhD finished, so this takes me away from my PhD to a large degree, and so it's like, it's just adds insult to injury, I guess you would say. Anyhow, I hope you guys have a good end of your summer and that you guys are staying nice and cool. I'm going to go ahead and sign off on this vlog. Until next time, guys, ride safe.